Buenos noches, Santani, and welcome to another episode of the Godfather Minute. I'm Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
And together, collectively, we make up the Godfather Minute Brothers. Here to talk about Minute 165.
165, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
That's the copper anniversary.
Is it 165
I think
years?
So.
Wow. Does anyone ever get to it?
We did. What's the summary? What are we talking about today?
Well, I feel like I can't proceed until I know how to say 165 in Italian.
Okay, you got it. Alex,
Yes.
repeat after me. E minuto.
Numero.
165.
165.
Cinque.
You
You got
I just
it.
do the Spanish one.
Yeah.
Cinque.
Yeah.
All
Nice,
right.
you got it.
165. A doomed Tessio asks Tom Hagen if he can get this fish off the hook for old time's sake.
Oh.
Tom affectionately turns down the old man's request, and he's hustled into the car by Cheech and some hired goons.
Wait, who's hustled into the car? Tom?
Tom, yeah, they make a mix up there. It's pronoun trouble. I know you were referring to. And also elsewhere on the compound, Michael enters the home and tells Carlo that he has to answer for Santino.
Woo! Big minute, Alex.
Just
Two
going,
people very close to the family getting called to the carpet. Called on the carpet? Called to the carpet.
to the carpet.
Called to the carpet.
On the carpet. I guess either one can
Called
work.
to the called on the carpet. More pronoun trouble. More preposition trouble.
Language is decaying by the minute. Well,
Decaying?
Oh my God.
Oh, grammar.
maybe that could be her garbage pail kid, Decay Adams. She's all like rotting.
Oh, it's perfect for a garbage pail kid. Decay Adams.
All right, well, we'll start with Tessio, Sally,
Yeah.
poor doomed Sally.
What a minute. Mm-hmm. Let me just say, I'm going to get this off my chest. This is, I think, the saddest of all Godfather minutes.
Really?
The saddest.
Including GF2 and GF3? Sadder than the death of Dada.
That was pretty sad, too. That was very sad. I don't know about GF2 yet. We'll have to get through. But so far,
Yeah.
it's just terribly sad.
More than the death of Apollonia?
Yes, we didn't really come to love Apollonia. Well, you did. And then 10 million teenage boys did.
Oh.
I mean, watching a movie. I don't mean,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So
It's
why
just
do you
terribly
think you're
sad.
so touched by Sally?
This minute is to Godfather as the key of D minor is to Spinal Tap.
The saddest of all?
Saddest of all minutes.
Wow. Why do you think it touches you so much?
It's just terribly sad. I know we don't really get that close to Tessio, but he is, I think, as of now, the closest person in the family who's going to be whacked. Mm-hmm. And it's just sad. He's this elderly man. The way he's busted, you're busted, and then he turns to Tom. The delivery and the acting and his facial expressions. I watched it several times. Just perfect.
Abe Vigoda's or
Abe Vigoda.
or Bobby Duvall?
No, Abe Vigoda.
Yeah.
And Bobby Duvall does great too.
Right, yeah.
Just terribly sad how he's cornered and he leans on an old friend and the friend can't do it. And even after Robert Duvall says, I can't do it,
Yeah.
it cuts back to Sal just for a second. And as Tom moves away, he's still...
Sinking in.
is still staring at where Tom was standing, which is a very sad move to do. You just very sad.
Yeah, I think also part of it is the I feel embarrassment for Tessio. Because here he was like, I hope he can get us a good deal, thinking like here he was at this, what was going to be probably the peak moment of his whole career, this big move. And now like, I'd rather just get shot in the back of the head and not like Paulie, it doesn't seem like even knew it was coming.
Yeah.
They drove around, bought mattresses, ran errands, and then they just killed him like at the end of it. I feel like I'd rather do that than have everyone basically have to face everyone and be like, "Oh, sorry, everyone. I thought it was the smart thing." You know?
even says, even Mikey says it was the smart move. Ask him.
Exactly.
Oh, and I think you're right, and also that it was all these sort of new button men soldiers are the ones that are taking care of this veteran, this cop regime, sort of a number 2 or 3 in the family.
Yeah, when they were taking him into the car, and it's like 4 guys. It's 3 button men and Cheech. And I was like, oh, it takes 4 guys to take Tessio down.
Yeah. You know? Alex, how many guys does it take to whack a capo regime?
It's about 30 guys.
About 30 button men. 6 in the car, 24 on the street. That Tessio shows one hand on his butt. Boom.
So,
do you think they drive like Clemenza? They drive him around in the city, just running errands that day, and they whack him at the end of the day.
Well, I was thinking, even just thinking in the car, and it's like in the back seat, it's like Cheech, Tessio, and one other guy. Like what an awkward car ride that must be. I guess everyone just sits there in silence. And do you think they ask him like, "What were you thinking, Tessio? What's the matter with you?"
Yeah. That's a good question. What would that conversation be? Would Tessio reminisce or say, "Hey, told my wife I loved her"?
Yeah, you probably do something.
Take care of my family,
taking care of business. So,
so you think he goes or asks each person in that car during this long, lonely drive, "Cheech, can you get me off the hook for old time's sake?" Can't
new
do
guy.
it, Sally.
What's your name?
New guy. Can you get me off the hook for old time's sake? I don't
new
even know
time's
you.
sake.
For new time's sake. When he asks Cheech, says, No. That wasn't old time's sake, Tessio.
Sal, you just met these guys. It can't be old time's sake.
Call up Clemenza. See if he can get me off the hook for old time's sake.
Well, this is speaking of which, before we forget, this is the last time you can play the not for old time's sake, not even for old time's sake song.
Yeah, should we play it?
Yes,
in memory of Salvatore Avagoda Tessio. Mm-hmm. For the last time, here is Not Even for Old Time's Sake. You had a plan, and it was perfect, but only if Mikey would go along. You had a dream, but soon Don't be sad now, it's only business. And it comes right from the dawn. You're a fish on a hook, but look on the bright side. Soon you'll be a cop on a hit sitcom. I can't do it, Sally. Not this time, Sally. It's a chance my clients cannot take. No, I can't do it, Sally. Not this time, Sally. Not even for old time's sake. Not even for old time's sake. Not even for old time's sake.
All right. And yeah, so we'll be sending the MP3 of that to our Patreons.
That's right.
But is there any other way people can listen to the song?
But Alex, thanks for reminding me. By the time this comes out, that song will be released on iTunes, Google Play, Google Rewind, Spotify, YouTube. It'll be everywhere. We're posting it into the world.
Of it. It'll be sick of it.
You'll be sick of it. It'll be a Sicilian message.
Yeah,
so go to any of those, what do you call those, sites? Media?
Yeah. And so was it under Andy Robinson?
Oh, thanks for reminding. No, it's under my studio band name, which is the Underdog Night Soldiers.
The Underdog Night Soldiers. Did you think about going with Undertaker Night Soldiers?
I did, but I love America too much.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And thanks to you, Alex, for doing the artwork for the single.
Yes, I tried to capture the heartbreaking moment where Tom walks away and Sally can't believe his eyes.
Yeah. So check out Not Even for Old Time's Sake on any of your media sites.
Yeah, wherever you listen to music.
What else you got, Alex?
Well, you mentioned Tessio wanting to square up business with his family, and so I looked up some information, like what's Tessio's family? What's the deal? And his children are unidentified. He does have a wife named Lucille, who he married in 1908. This is 1955. So they've been together almost 50 years.
Oh,
like,
man.
Even makes it even sadder.
Did he confide in her, do you think?
He never talks about business.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
But he's just
obviously
gonna
Mrs. Clemenza knows all about business, so.
I don't think she does. I think we've made all that up.
I don't think having to take care of all those orphans, I don't think Mrs. Fish is involved in the family business.
Miss Fish. Soon to be Ms. Fish.
Ms. Fish. Yeah, so Lucille Tessio. And apparently, so after Tessio died, the Corleone family continued to take care of Tessio's family.
Oh, wow.
So that's good.
Yeah.
If I was them, I would have killed their whole family.
Yeah.
You want to send a message.
Yeah.
But here's something else I found out from the Godfather wiki. Apparently, at one point, Vito told Clemenza and Tessio, for security reasons, maybe you guys shouldn't see each other socially and hang out socially.
Really?
Yeah.
Wild.
And
how come?
Well, the Don said it was for security reasons.
Oh, yeah.
But Tessio suspected it was because the Don didn't want Tessio and Clemenza teaming up and overthrowing him. So that's what Tessio thought was the reasoning behind it.
Interesting.
So,
wow.
He was always the smart one.
Yeah, that's a smart move. Do you think if they had done that, who would have become the Don of the family? Because you can't have two people co-leading the family.
I guess it would depend on whose idea it was to take it over.
Yeah. So let's just say Salvador Tessio became the head of the family. Would Clemenza then be a capo regime? He would just have more territory.
I guess
he would gain more.
Yeah. Or maybe they would have like a partnership or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like each form their own family, but they're kind of like the same family.
Yeah,
Basically just take the Corleones out of it.
Yeah.
Just have it be those two, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because they don't, without the old man's political protection,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
they'll go running for cover.
When you first said that the Don discouraged them from hanging out together, I thought it was one of those things where the president and the vice president can never travel together because one
Maybe that's what he
assassination
means
attempt
for
could wipe
security.
out both.
Maybe that's what he means for security
yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you two get wiped out with one attack, who are going to be my two capo regimes, Santino and Fredo? What am I running, a circus family here?
If one of you should have an unfortunate accident or get struck by lightning or a trigger happy policeman,
then I'm going to blame some of the capo regimes in this room.
this is the last time we see Abe Vigoda until the end of GF2. So this was Abe Vigoda's first motion picture.
Really?
Yeah, he done some TV appearances, but this was his first movie.
It's a little late in life to get started.
Yeah, go figure.
Wow.
You know those kids to raise, all those adopted kids. The next movie he mostly did TV stuff. He appeared on just about like Love Boat, Fantasy Island, every show that has guest stars on it.
wow.
You know, including Tales from the Dark Side, favorite of the Godfather Minute hosts here. Tales from the Dark Side.
Man lives in the sunlit. Oh, it sounds like Tessio. Man lives in the sunlit world.
Sunny world.
He believes to be reality.
It's perfect.
But the consigliere could get him off the hook. For
Man
all
makes arrangements that he mostly considers perfect.
but
as we have talked about many times on the show, after this he went on to the next movie he did, interestingly, was called 1973, called The Don Is Dead, which I feel like we probably mentioned several years ago because one of the other actors, he plays Don Toluso in that, and one of the other actors in it is the Turk is also in it. So
okay.
if we could track this movie down, we should watch it. I'm sure.
The Don is dead.
The Don is dead,
And it's a drama?
it looks like it.
Wow.
So
Does Ava go to play the Don?
he plays Don Toluso.
Oh.
I don't know if he is the titular dead Don or not, or whether he's.
And did you say it's the movie after the next movie that Ava Goda made?
That was the next movie he did after The
Oh,
Godfather.
wow. We got to track it down.
Yeah, yeah.
The Don is dead.
He also appeared in Cannonball Run 2 with Johnny Fontaine himself, Frank Sinatra. I think he's even in a scene with Frank Sinatra, although not filmed at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that the gimmick? Didn't Frank Sinatra, he was in the movie, but he was filmed separate. He wasn't even, his voice was used? Am I thinking of something else? Or was that the first one?
No, Frank Sinatra is in it as a favor to his friends Dean Martin and Sammy Davis, who are in the Cannonball Run series. And they just filmed Frank Sinatra head on saying all his lines of dialogue just into a camera.
Yeah.
And then they had like George Steinbrenner on Seinfeld, where they just had someone from the back, pantomiming that they were doing Frank Sinatra.
Makes me wonder if the Cannonball Run race were run in the Godfather world, how would everyone get? Is it across the country?
Yeah,
right?
across the country. Yeah.
Like what cars would they drive? And who would win? Who's the most? That's
a great
Santino
idea.
drives the fastest, but he might not think through the best plan to get from coast to coast.
I don't think he gets past the causeway. He gets right in the
Everyone just has him whacked.
Or he's driving a car that is just filled with bullet holes, totally covered in bullet holes. I like that idea. I totally want to see. It's like I like that, all the different crazy cars. Like Bonacera would be driving a hearse, and Nazarene and Enzo would be like a bakery truck.
And the Turk's driver Lou, he would never make it because he'd keep making Lou turns on the bridge. He'd keep going around in circles. You took me to the Bronx again. That's where you told me to take you.
You know who else wouldn't do so hot is, or who would do very hot is Apollonia.
Oh,
She wouldn't get there until like Tuesday, Friday.
Oh, no.
So Abe Vigoda also probably most famous for his role as Detective Phil Fish. Phil. I never got his... Isn't Phil the name of... Matthew was the name of Mccluskey. Right?
Mark
McCluskey.
Yeah. His name is Phil?
Phil.
Fish?
Phil Fish.
Is that like Fishman, I'm guessing?
No, it's Fish. His last name is
with
Fish.
A P. With an F.
With an F.
Phil Fish.
Phil Fish.
Detective Fish. It's perfect.
And so he was on Barney Miller for 2 seasons, and they decided to spin off Fish into his own program called Fish.
Fish.
Where him and his wife Bernice were foster parents to a basket full of lovely children, orphans, including Todd Bridges in his first.
That's right. Was he no longer on Barney Miller after that second season?
He, as part of the agreement, the producer guy said you have to make X number of appearances on Barney Miller during that time.
So he's part-time on Barney Miller?
Yes. I think but it was only like 4 appearances or something. I don't think it was a lot.
He didn't want to do it though, right?
No, he just wanted to do Fish.
So did he think he asked his agent, "Can you get me out of the contract for old time's sake?"
Well, eventually he did because when they were going to do a 3rd season, he wanted too much money, and so they canceled the program. So
They canceled Fish.
They canceled Fish because he wanted more money, and so they pulled the plug on the show.
It wasn't doing well enough.
I guess not enough to justify his I don't know what his outrageous demands were, but so one funny thing also, Mike, keep in mind Abe Vigoda's mental space at this time is someone told me that originally on Barney Miller that Abe Vigoda was under the impression that the show was going to be called Barney Miller and Fish. And so like, no, it's just Barney Miller. So because he's like, I was in The Godfather. Like, I was in Brooklyn, hang my hat. He was getting all like high and mighty about it. And so that might be, then clearly, he killed his own show by asking for too much money. So
he's not very good at, they're the smart moves, but I think he's just unlucky.
Unlucky? I think he just makes bad choices.
No, I mean, going with Barzini was the smart move based on what he knew.
Barzini, Barney, this connection there,
and then trying to get more money. I don't know if that was a good choice. And it seems like he shot himself in the foot.
To me, if I'm Abe Vigoda and like I'm making my money doing a bunch of random TV appearances on the Love Boat and all that stuff, I would say, well, I'm going to try to keep this show, unless it was just like a hassle to do.
Yeah.
It just sounds like it went to his head. He was a tiny supporting character in The Godfather, and then he's like suddenly wants the top billing and over Barney.
So when the executive producer of the show Fish learned that he was going to leave if they didn't get enough money.
Yeah.
You know what the executive producer said to the producer?
What did he say?
He said, Abe Vigo, duh. And that's the garbage. There's a garbage pail kid, Alex. Abe Vigo, duh. Because they're not going to keep him for all that money.
I get it.
Or Abe Vigo Doe. Or Abe Vigoda.
Dogon. Anyway, we get the idea.
Or no, Abe. I'm sorry, I gotta get this right.
Okay,
Abe no doga. No, because no dough.
No doga.
He doesn't get the dough.
God.
Something like that. All right, moving on.
We'll
work it out for the bonus content.
Yeah, totally.
What else you got?
And that's all I have for the fish scenes. I was going to move on to I just want to mention I love Tom's little nod to Cheech.
Oh, it's
before
fantastic.
He walks away.
Yeah.
Well, just kind of
doesn't
even have to say anything.
Yeah, kind of. Let's move it on.
Yeah,
get him out of here.
Yeah, get him out. Stand him up. Clean it up. I was going to move on to the Carlo bit.
Yeah, that's all I had for the Tessio scene. But oh boy, for the people who are listening, if you haven't seen this minute in a while, watch it. It's heartbreaking.
Oh, I also want to comment on the fact that the Tessio scene ends with Tom looking out the window, and people looking out the window. This is a recurring theme in Godfather, especially when someone's being like, because at the end of GF2, we see Mikey looking through the window, and another traitor is getting his comeuppance.
Yeah.
So,
What about Don Vito in the wedding scene looking out the window at Michael when he enters the party?
Yeah,
it's a little different.
It's one's
but
tougher.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's maybe it signifies sort of a longing for the past, or you can't go, the recognition that you can't go back.
Yeah.
I think that's what they all had in common.
Yeah.
Maybe the Godfather sees his son Michael he's happy that he's there.
Yeah.
But he's also wearing the uniform and he's not in the family. But I guess the movie Don Vito didn't want him in the family, so he would be happy about that.
Yeah. That seems kind of conflicted because although in the finished film, they got rid of anything about him not wanting him to be in the...
All right, you know what? I'm not going to try to make something out of it. It could just be Don Vito looking out a window, right?
No, I definitely think thematically it doesn't seem quite the same as the other ones, which are like watching someone being taken away to be killed or whatever. But anyway, we'll watch in GF2. I'm sure there's more shots of people looking through windows.
Yeah.
So let's go move over to Carlo.
Yeah.
Carlo DC.
Yeah, I've got a little bit in the book, but start with your assessment of the movie. It's kind of a scene lit in this minute.
Yeah, it's funny because it literally ends right when it goes, you have to answer for Santino. And it's like the perfect cliffhanger. Yeah. Well, I really didn't have much. There's not much happens, obviously. But first of all, the fact that he's doing a rotary phone.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if, because you hear him dialing the phone before you see what he's doing. And then... did I already talk about that? The 17-year-olds who didn't know how to do a rotary phone?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, the YouTube video.
Yeah, so I like the fact that you don't see him actually dialing it so that the mystery is still preserved. You just see him hang up the phone. You don't know what. So I wonder if in the future people are going to be, what is he doing? What's that sound before?
Yeah. You know, why aren't these people wearing masks?
Yeah. It just reminds me of like every now and then you'd see something like in a Little Rascals movie or something, some piece of technology or equipment, and you're like in their kitchen. And you're like, what is that?
So creepy.
No.
Yeah.
No answer to this day.
How those people lived back then.
So yeah, that's what rotary phones are going to be like. People in the future.
Yeah,
they're going to be.
Yeah, it's great.
And the last thing I had was that doing this a week at a time, 1 minute per week, it's almost like I totally forgot Sonny was even in the movie. It was so long ago, like to have him. Oh my God, that was a subplot from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
Sonny might not even be in the car. Sonny, I mean,
yeah. So it's almost like a callback to like the earlier series or something.
That's right. So, it's been a while,
long time.
Even Carlo, Michael says you have to answer for Santino, Carlo.
Who?
Who?
Oh, Sonny, right?
Oh, Sonny, yeah.
Is he coming over?
Did I have something to do with that? It's a great cliffhanger for the next minute.
Yeah, totally.
So I have some stuff in the book about it.
I like that Mikey is handling it personally.
Oh, you can say that again. It is. Remember, it's personal in the book. Michael says it's personal.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for some book action, Alex?
Let's hear it. Read it to me.
So there's nothing about the Tessio scene. I already took care of those last week. Here we go. Page 431. Puzo writes, Carlo Rizzi, still waiting for his interview with Michael, became jittery with all the arrivals and departures. Obviously, something big was going on, and it looked as if he were going to be left out.
So also, watching it for the minute, it's the first time I ever really kind of realized that both of these things are happening at the same place.
Yes.
They're both at the compound.
Yeah.
So Carlo could look out the window and see Tessio being hustled away in the car.
Yeah, because Tom was in the kitchen and being escorted out. Yeah.
But he might just think he was going to the meeting with Barzini.
Mm-hmm. He knew something big was happening.
He's going to go talk to Barzini.
Carlo, you have to answer for Santino by talking to Barzini.
And you have to go before Barzini to show cause.
Michael's taking on all the dialogue.
Might not even be in the car, Carlo.
He might not even be in the car, Lo. So Carlo's getting really nervous. He's wondering what's going on. While he's waiting, you want to take a guess who he's on the phone with in the scene, Alex? Remember Michael and Hagen and I think Rocco?
Is it Rags?
It is not Rags.
Is it Barzini?
No, he didn't call Barzini.
Tattaglia. Cuneo?
No, you have 10 more guesses.
Don Zanucci?
Puzo writes, Carlo called up his mistress again and told her he was sure he would be able to take her to a late supper and spend the night. Michael had said he would call him soon, whatever, etc. So when Carlo hung up, he decided to get properly dressed so as to save time afterward. He had just slipped into a fresh shirt when there was a knock on the door. So isn't that interesting? I always wondered, seeing the movie, I noticed that he was well dressed. Mm-hmm. You notice he's got a tie. He doesn't have a tie on. Maybe he's got it around his neck. Yeah. And it seemed a little bit out of place. Although maybe they had just come back from the christening. Maybe I put two and two together. But in the book, he's getting dressed to go see his mistress.
Right. Yeah,
that's why he's looking nice.
It's not at the same time.
Yeah.
As the,
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Little difference there.
Do you think it's the same mistress that he has? Because this is like 5 years later now. Or something.
Well, this one, Puzo wrote earlier that this one is in Westbury, Connecticut, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because it takes 40 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think there's information about it in the clean it up scene.
Do you think it's the same? I can't imagine it's the same mistress.
I don't know.
Do people have mistresses for like 5 years in the mafia and stuff?
Is that how long ago it was?
Well, I mean,
in the book or in the movie,
like Anthony wasn't even born when. When that happened.
That's right. Connie was pregnant.
Yes, Mikey was still in Sicily, so.
Oh yeah,
it has to be.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same mistress.
So
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know if there's any way for us to ask and answer.
I figure that it's like kind of like cars, where like every year they would just trade up for the next new model or whatever.
Like a lease.
A lease, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Lease to buy.
All right. Let's see.
Puzo writes.
So Michael comes in. Or no. He just slipped on a fresh shirt. Puzo writes. Carlo reasoned quickly that
Carlo reasoned?
Carlo reasoned. So Mikey is not there yet.
Yeah.
Carlo reasoned quickly that Mike had tried to get him on the phone and had kept getting a busy signal, had simply sent a messenger to call him because there was a knock on the door. Carlo went to the door and opened it. He felt his whole body go weak with terrible, sickening fear. Standing in the doorway was Michael Corleone. His face, this is why I wanted to read this. I don't know if it's a typo or I'm reading this wrong. Standing in the doorway was Michael Corleone, his face, the face of that death Carlo Risi saw often in his dreams. Oh, It does make sense. Now I read it out loud.
Yeah.
And then Michael, let's see, behind Michael Corleone was Hagen and Rocco. They looked grave, like people who had come with the utmost reluctance to give a friend bad news. They all walked in, recovered from his first shock. He thought that he had suffered an attack of nerves. Michael's words made him really sick, physically nauseous. I didn't realize he was such a queasy, he had such a weak constitution, Carlo. That's why he wanted Connie to clean it up earlier. He's getting all sick, seeing the food all over. Michael's words made him really sick, physically nauseous. You have to answer for Santino, Michael said. And then I'll continue next week because that's where our minute ends.
Yeah, pretty dramatic.
Yeah, so a little bit more dramatic in the book. Puzo's elevating Carlo's worry.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we barely see Carlo in the actual movie.
Yeah,
but pretty cool.
Think? Yeah.
Should we rate the minute?
Yeah, let's rate it.
Yeah. Oh boy, is there really a question?
It's always a question. I got mine.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alex, it's not really a celebratory 5.
So it is for me.
Is it? How come? You don't like fish? Oh, because he betrayed the family. I guess we should be happy that the Corleones busted a traitor.
No,
right?
I'm just happy that there's new jobs being created for button men. Thanks to this, he's a job creator.
Yeah.
Look at the positive side. Tessio's death means that someone else will get a chance, their shot at, at being the capo.
And that he won't live off of the government, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all that's freed up for some other
singing lessons, dancing lessons, acting lessons. Do you think that Rocco does someone just Rocco or Al take over Tessio's family?
Oh, until they name Capo Regime?
Well, I mean...
Doesn't Frankie Five Angels become the...
I thought he was Clemenza's guy.
Clemenza, yeah. I'm sure Mikey has been working with Hagen to consider promotions.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to audition people in Tessio's crew. Or from another crew. It doesn't have to be from the same... I wonder if it's better to promote someone from within the crew?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I could see it working both ways.
Yeah. Because they might be loyal to Tessio and be angry, or they might be like, okay, I didn't like him anyway.
Yeah, but if you and I are in a crime crew.
Yeah, maybe you should just drop this.
if it's hypothetical. And our capo gets whacked.
Yeah.
And let's just say you get promoted.
Mm-hmm.
Am I more likely to do what you say, and will things be okay? Or is it better compared with bringing in someone from another crew?
Well, obviously the details would be important.
Yeah.
Like the specific personalities involved. But my tendency is to say it's better to promote from within than to have someone else come in.
Yeah. The only danger is you're incentivizing whacking a boss within your crew. If you could potentially get promoted to that position, you may not have that person's safety in mind.
Yeah.
You got to think like those around you, Alex. We're all businessmen.
But the alternative is for someone to be like, I'm stuck in this. There's no opportunity for promotion in this family because I got stepped over.
Well, you can get promoted to a capo, but in another crew, head of another crew.
Yeah.
Like inter promotions, not intra promotions, not inter promotions.
So like someone who would take over Tessio's crew from Clemenza's crew.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
I wonder how it worked.
Or what if they move?
So we'll send it to HR. We'll let them figure it out.
Well, because I figure Tessio's second in command must know like how everything functions, and so that's why I thought it would be natural for him to take over.
Yeah, he knows all the ins and outs, all the strands of this particular crew.
But if you're someone like Mikey who's interested in remaking the family in your image, and you want to, because they replace all the capo regimes, one way or another before the next movie, so. That might be a thing where you just get rid of Tessio. Okay, Al, here's your family now.
Yeah.
Or Rocco, take over.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, that's all I got, Alex. We're ready to move to the bonus content?
Yeah, we might as well. And if you want to join us over there, you can go to www.godfatherminute.com/support. And become a subscriber there, about $1 a show, and you get usually about half an hour of extra content.
30 to
usually
45 minutes,
sometimes.
Yeah, and check out the Underdog Night Soldiers' new single release. Not even for old time's sake, you can get it anywhere and everywhere.
And also, don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, where you can get next week's show a week earlier.
That's right.
Check it out.
Yeah.
And so until next time.
Can you get me off the hook, Tom, for old time's sake?